11. The Short Fart Home. The Applebys picked up their parachutes from the luggage storage. Grandad performed the final safety checks, and, when the Applebys were ready, they each took a swig of the little glass vial containing Formula No. 2 Bum Blaster. With a pop and a whoosh, they shot into the air, and it wasn't long before they were homeward bound. They flew back over Paris, past the Eiffel Tower, and then along the River Seine, but not all was going as well as it seemed. Over the English Channel, Grandma started to speed up. "Come back, Grandma!" shouted Dad. "I can't stop! I'm getting faster!" yelled Grandma, as she let go of the rope and began to leave the rest of them behind. "I hope she's not going supersonic," said Dad, as Grandma began to disappear in the distance. "I don't think she's going that fast. I can still see her," said Mum. "Maybe her bit of the formula had something extra in it," said Alice. The Applebys watched on, helpless to do anything. "At least she's heading in the right direction," said Dad, as they crossed over the white cliffs of Dover and proceeded along the motorway. "That's great! We can pick her up when we land," said Dad, as they approached the Appleby house. "Time to deploy the parachutes," said Grandad. As they neared home, Mum yelled, "Look, I can see a parachute. Grandma's deployed in the next town across from us." One tug of the parachute cord, and Alice, Mum, Dad and Grandad all floated down to the back garden. After packing up their parachutes, the Applebys made their way back to the house. But all was not well. Instead of the door being locked as they had left it, it was wide open. And what's worse, things had been taken from inside the Applebys' house. Formula No. 3 rocket fuel was missing. So too were the parachute presents for Uncle Paul and Auntie Laurie. What was even worse, Alice noted the Kirkham chili super seeds were gone, along with her notebook containing all the formulas from Auntie Kimberly. "We've been broken into," cried Dad, "and they've taken the rocket fuel." "Who would do such a thing?" said Grandad. Lucky the cat wandered into the kitchen with a green bowler hat in his mouth. "Look, Lucky's brought us a clue," said Grandad. "I recognise that hat. It belongs to Gawk," said Alice. "Lady Blagden's manservant? Why would Gawk have been here?" said Grandad. "Maybe to deliver us another letter. I found this on the kitchen table," said Mum, holding up a letter. The Applebys gathered around as Mum opened the letter and began to read. "To whom it may concern, as explained in our letter earlier this year, you had a choice to either pay a fee for the continued use of the Blagden estate land, or, if you couldn't pay, we would take something away. You chose not to pay, so we took something away. Please don't come looking for it. It's ours now. Merry Christmas. The Blagden estate." "The Blagdens have taken our Formula No. 3 rocket fuel," said Mum. "It's not our Formula No. 3, it's NASA's formula," said Alice. But no one seemed to take note of what she said. "They've taken Uncle Paul and Auntie Laurie's parachutes too," said Dad. "They've taken my super seeds and my notebook," said Alice. "Oh, they aren't allowed to do that. It's stealing," said Grandad. "Let's go get them," said Dad. "What about Grandma? We can't leave her," said Alice. "I'll make sure Grandma gets home safely. You get Formula No. 3 back," said Mum. And with that, Alice, Dad and Grandad set off for the Blagdens' house on the hill.